set to the microphone before. Now it should be. So let's give it the 10 seconds needed here. Oh no, it's a never ending. Okay. Set to the microphone before. No, okay, it's working. Jesus. All right, stream actually starts now. I'm Alex. I'm the Billionaire Buster. I'm gonna be billionaire busting today. We'll just kind of hit a. I don't know how long the stream is gonna go. Just I don't know. I don't know what kind of mood I'm in. But let's see more. Looking at GoFundMe. I think we're just down a stream from last week. I wanna try to do a stream every week. I think last week's the only one I've actually just ended up kind of just skipping, so I'm a little annoyed about that. But oh man, that's such a bright glow from my monitor. It's like I definitely need to get some sort of room lighting to balance it out. But yeah, hey, I'm back. I'm not disappearing. Gonna do a stream here and gonna say let's just kind of kick things off. I guess this one at the top. What's going on here? Okay. Lost their home in a fire. Couple with 3 young kids. Yeah, wow, that is just like that is like just 100% fire damage. That house is fucked. All right, let's do more for them than Elon Musk has ever done for another person. And let's see, so while I'm doing this, gotta do it over here so I don't show my credit card on stream. And you might be able to hear my kitty. Are you in or are you out? Which way, Western Cat? You gotta pick one. Are you coming in? Okay, you're coming in. Fuck them. Alright. I got the door shut because my partner's talking to their parents on the phone, so I want to keep the door shut, but then the fucking cat can't decide whether he's in or out. But then he starts meowing, and then that's just noise. Definitely something I want to do and I plan on doing. Let's gain some of those just like soundproof like squares that you see all the streamers have, that like soundproof insulation that you can just put up on your walls and stuff. Definitely want to get some of that spread among the room, and I'll probably just put in some other places in this house. Because that'll be nice for things. Okay though, let's see, that should have gone through. Okay, now the cat's sitting in front of my door, but on the outside. But he still just sit. Okay, we donated. One done. All right, we've helped this family of 5 who has had a tragic house fire. That's awful. And so, little bit of updates on my end. There's not gonna be a stream next week because I'm going on vacation this week, spending like around 9 days in Hawaii, and so I'm spending Thanksgiving in Hawaii. I have some family out there, so I'm actually gonna be with that family. But that's a part of that. I just wanted a vacation, and my partner is also very, very happy to be having a chill, relaxing, tropical beach vacation. I've been to Hawaii before. The beaches, there's so many beaches. and every one of them is like a 9 out of 10 at minimum. The beaches in Hawaii. Mwah. I'm gonna have at least a whole day just sitting out on a beach, tanning up a bit for the winter. That would be nice to do. But yeah. So for next week, there's just makes sense. Yeah, I'm gone for the week, so I might as well just call that one a pass. So, but that one's at least a planned one. Another thing related to the streams, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I say things like that a lot too, but I got like one of those art drawing tablets. I got a relatively nice one, and I've barely used it, but I got it set up again. It's not going to be this stream, but I think I might try to do some kind of like art stream once a week as well, so then there'd be like 2 streams. And I'm not any good at art. I need to practice. So the art stream, I think, is mostly going to be me just kind of just like practicing and tooling around with the thing and trying to figure out how to draw at all. Because I'm not any sort of skilled art. I don't have much practical, not since school days taking art class. But I got thoughts in my head that I think would be represented well through the artistic medium of the still image. So, and I figure that can just be because that's like if I'm doing art, that's like art streams are a thing, and that's easy to do, and I can just chat about whatever or just listen to something. But make it a stream, throw out a couple of donations still during those. But that's something I'm gonna look into doing. Probably won't be able to do one this week because between work and then having to leave for the trip, I'm kind of just gonna be in a crush to stay on top of shit. And just the other casual me updates. I guess obviously I gave myself a haircut today. Was due for one. Gave myself my haircut. I don't know. I get it. I've paid for haircuts. I've been to the barber. I've had nicer haircuts, but I just put the 1/2-inch plastic wedge thing. Okay, I'm gonna. I love my partner, but we don't have any of the real sound insulation. So I'm like, if I have my headphones on and I can hear them laughing, talking with their parents, then I know the mic must be picking that up, and that's just kind of weird. If you're watching the stream and you're hearing like some other conversation muffled in the background. Okay, yeah, I was talking about my completely, absolutely basic guy hair care routine of I put the plastic length thing on the clippers that I go for 1/2 inch, and then I just do all the top and side of my head at 1/2 inch. And then it's done. Takes like not even 10 minutes. Pretty fun routine. For the beard, lately I've been doing like 1 inch on the beard when I do trim it. Because I've experimented. I've had the big wild beards before, but it's kind of like a pain to deal with it. So it's like, all right, I just try to keep the beard around like this length, and then just trim it back to that every so often. Because I think this looks good. I like how this looks. I like how this feels. I really do like how it feels. Feels like I got a fucking beard. Ooh. So that's fun. And then another thing I did was I bought a very expensive telescope so I could get into some amateur kind of stargazing and astronomy, I guess. But I bought a really nice telescope, so it's like it's several feet tall and weighs like 50 pounds when it's all put together on its base. But I've gotten to use it once so far because I only got it the last week, but I was able to put it out. Just went in the backyard, take a look at some stars, and I got it centered on the moon and spent a few minutes just enjoying the sight of a very zoomed in, large, bright moon and taking in all the craters and craters and just all the extra details, because you look at, you see the moon almost every night if you're outside, but when you actually look at the moon through some sort of magnification, it's really it's a whole different beast. There's a whole new side of it, that all these extra layers that you're able to see, and I just think it's cool. And then the way I see it with a telescope is it's not like telescopes ever really go bad. So now I wanted to do it last night, but it was all cloudy last night, so it was just completely overcast. So it was like, all right, piss on that idea then. But now it just means that if it's a clear night, or if I hear that there's something cool like an eclipse happening, it's like, I got the telescope. That, and just personally, but something about looking through a telescope and just actually directly observing like celestial bodies and objects in the sky, I find it really cool. I guess it gives me a bit of like it's a bit like awe-inspiring when you're actually just looking and you're like, and you get it like Jupiter's in a place where you can see it, and you're just looking through your scope and you can just like see Jupiter, and it's just it's this little bright dot, but then you got it lined up and you're looking, and you can actually like see the planet Jupiter, and you can like see the colored bands, and you can even like potentially see like the red storm spot if that part's like facing, but just you can actually just see it in the sky, like slowly moving between its rotation and the Earth's rotation. It's just like you're there and you're a human on Earth, and you're looking 1,000,000+ miles away at this planet that is so many times larger than the Earth, but it's just out there always at all times, and you can like just be there and see it. And I find that pretty like kind of awe-inspiring. It's a fun feeling, so I figured I'd invest a little bit of money and get a telescope. So I guess at some point, I don't know, maybe do like an outside telescope stream. I'd have to figure out, I don't know how well I can like show anything through the telescope, but could always just have something like, I don't know, filming on the like just fucking phone, and just be like out with the telescope. And I guess I'd have to figure out how to, because I don't think I could just put a camera up, because the optics. I'm still a total telescope noob. I've only like barely figured out how to get the thing to just actually function. There's a lot of dials and knobs and a lot of precision things you can move and lock into place, but yeah, that shit's cool, and I don't know, I feel good about it, because it's just like I said, it's a telescope. It's never gonna go bad. 10 years from now, if I use the telescope once a month, then hey, that's how often I use it. But like, I can use it once a month for the rest of my fucking life, because it's a telescope. It's not gonna go bad. And yes, in terms of this stream, let's see. I'll give a quick anime shout out. I haven't mentioned this one before, but watched a couple more episodes of this anime, Dorahedoro. It's pretty good. I'm liking it. I think we're like 8 episodes in. Watched a couple episodes while eating dinner, and my partner ended up just like reading the whole manga. They were enjoying the show, and they just decided to just read the whole friggin' manga. So they actually know how things end and whatnot. I'm hoping. So far I'm just seeing things I've already seen in the anime, so good, I'm not spoiling myself. But Dorahedoro, it's a good manga, or fuck, it's probably a good manga. I've been enjoying the anime. It's on Netflix. If you got Netflix, you can just go watch that shit real easy, and it's extremely punk rock, and it's pretty fucking crazy, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, I think it's worth a watch. It's my recommendation. Yeah, this is the opening. This is just the first scene. Is just a guy with his head shoved into a crocodile man's mouth, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And that's just where it starts. It's like, yeah, we know this shit's gonna be fucking crazy, and it's like, you know what? Strong opening. You got my attention with the opening here. I can't. I don't need my email open. I don't have anything I need to really see in my email. So okay, we did our first donation. A little bit of the. I guess it's just kind of like bloggy or vloggy since it's video. Just I don't know. Just given the basic life updates. I like to do it. I don't know. It's fun to. Everyone likes to talk about themselves. That's usually true. But okay, I was thinking, thinking about what to do for this stream. I'm thinking, might just go back to a Kroby Cat, because, I mean, fuck, I like these videos so much. I think the, Mass Effect Andromeda, that's probably, when I'm looking at it, I'm just like, gotta watch that tonight. Then I had two other things in mind. I saw Donkey had a new video. I like Donkey. He makes me laugh. He's been making me laugh for like 8 years. But yeah, there's that new Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers, and all I know about it is that the first reveal, the first footage kind of trailer reveal looked like shit. I heard about it because everyone was like, this new Sonic game looks like shit. And then I watched the 2 minutes of the trailer, and then I was like, yeah, that does look like shit. What are they? So maybe it's a little better. Who knows? The Sonic franchise is, if you follow the gaming at all, the Sonic franchise is known for just wildly oscillating in terms of quality. Sometimes they'll make a game that's like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, solid game. And then sometimes they'll make stuff like Sonic 06, which is an unironic 2 out of 10 at best. 2 out of 10 if you're feeling charitable. And they'll just make the shittiest fucking games possible. And it's like, you've made good Sonic games. Why can't you just do more of that? No one complains about how Mega Man 9 is similar to Mega Man 1 through 8, because it's like, you know what? That's what Mega Man fans like. There's 8 Robo Masters, and you go through the stages, and they each drop... good, just keep doing that. Just keep doing more of that until you've, actually run out of ideas for that. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every fucking time with a sequel. It's a tricky balancing act. But you know what? I like Donkey. Donkey's funny. We'll just give my mouth a break for 8-ish minutes here. I'm probably going to pause and say something at some point. I'm going to turn the video volume down slightly, because I realized on one of the last streams that, having the video volume also be, at its max kind of conflicts. But, yeah, alright, let's see what's going on.
Better go to Donkey Castle. Oh, it's me, Santa. The donkey figure is back in stock. The donkey hats are back in stock. The donkey beans are back in stock. But you better be quick, because these are the hottest items in the whole Christmas season. I should know. I'm Santa Claus. Look at this photo of Rudolph. That's how you know it's me.
This is just one part of the Zeta Halo ring, the largest, most wide-open environment we've ever built.
The land feels sad and empty.
Yeah, I got the same feeling. I mean, it's grassy.
Yup.
But on the plus side, I've got plenty of room to run around.
Sonic just reviewed his own game. He was right.
Okay, that makes me laugh. Should I zoom my camera in a little bit? Let's see. Fucking with this. Cat. I hear the cat, so he must be hearable. Cat. It's a big house, Cat. You can do anything. You could be anywhere in this house. instead of screaming in front of one of our doors. Are you in? Are you in? Okay, you coming in? I swear, this boy, he's so needy. It's if he can't be like fucking near someone, he loses his mind. Okay, I do not know how to zoom my camera in, so we're just gonna... It's my face. It's in the corner. I'm a human. I bleed blood. Ugh.
Analog to like this. Go to options
Oh wait, I should... The audio video quality is... There we go.
to change that.
Get ready to blaze your own trail.
Everybody stand back. I'm about to blaze my own trail.
When I play Sonic, I sure like to blur.
Reveal hidden parts of the map.
Like my favorite game, Assassin's Creed.
God damn it.
Keep in mind that some
Battery on
challenges
these
can
things.
only be attempted at night.
That's fucking stupid. A notification may appear when Sonic is near something new. Insert the portal key. Did you know that Sonic is a video game? Stop. Sonic can go up walls like what you were trying to do right now. Knuckles is in an unstable state.
Sonic Frontiers offers high-speed, open-zone gameplay that gives you the freedom to play the game in the order that best matches your...
Okay, how much of this game is going to be that they saw Breath of the Wild and were like, let's make Sonic Breath of the Wild, and at no point did they stop themselves on the fact that that might not gel well. Like, I like Breath of the Wild a lot, but it's like... It's the thing with Sonic, the long-standing, we'll see, but just, I feel like the long-standing thing that's always kind of been the issue for Sonic Team, besides just general Sega mismanagement and not knowing what the fuck they're doing, but I feel like Sonic's always kind of had a bit of this conflict between, on the one hand, he's supposed to be, like, super fast. It's a super fast character. When you're playing the game, it's like, oh, super fast. But then they have that, like, conflicting a bit with just having Sonic be kind of a more, like, let's say, just kind of like a more mainstream, like, mascot platformer character. Where you got a game like Sonic Boom, where Sonic Boom is, like, much more of like it's got like a cartoon that it was tied into. I've heard the cartoon's actually like okay, the game's kind of trash, but it's like Sonic Boom was much more just like a third person like action adventure, just kind of like typical video game type of video game. Like it wasn't even that, like even when you were on the rare segments when you were running, it's like it wasn't even that fast paced. It was just kind of a more of a Ratchet and Clank feeling kind of thing, but with not with the guns, but just that kind of generic, like, third-person action-adventure platform, like every PS2 game was, like, something like that. And a fuckload of Nintendo 64 games or something like that. Because it's that hard trickiness of, okay, if Sonic's gonna be fast as fuck, then just, like, that kind of has to be what the game is. Like, you can't just have it be a sometimes... like, if you took a first-person shooter, if you took... random example, if you took a game like Crysis, and if you made it so that the main character could just, if you like set his max speed to be 3 times higher, and didn't change anything else about the game, like that would fuck the game up, because it just, the environments and rooms wouldn't really be built for it, and the enemies would have trouble if you're just like, if you're just fucking like pinballing around, like you gotta build a game around that. Yeah, that's why classic Sonic games tend to have like pretty simple enemies, and the enemies are like they kind of overlap with the obstacles. Like a lot of Sonic enemies, especially in like the old 2D games, a lot of times the enemies are basically just they could just be a like wall of spikes that just happens to be moving back and forth a bit. Like it's not even like Mario, because Mario's a little bit slower and more like precision platforming. So stuff like Koopas and Goombas walking back and forth, like. Affects your timing for, like, jumping on the platform if there's, like, an enemy pacing on it. But in the Sonic games, the enemies were more just, like, another obstacle that happened to be there, because the point was you were, using the power of Sega Blast Processing to blow your mom's fucking pants off. Sega does what Nintendo don't. Yeah, fuck. All right, let's let Donkey play
I
the
want to go
game.
this way.
You are not ready.
What if I go?
Okay. Also, oh god. Okay, yeah, it's happening. If you play Breath of the Wild, the stamina meter in Breath of the Wild looks literally the same as that boost meter. Though I think they drain in a different. I think it drains in the other direction. It drains counterclockwise. So that's the fucking Wings of Icarus. No, never heard of that game. Oh shit! Did I?
Go this way.
You are not ready.
Access denied.
What about if I go this way?
You are not ready.
Open zone platforming.
I want to go into the forest. This looks cool.
You stray from the path.
But I'm just walking directly towards the waypoint.
Sonic Frontiers expands on what fans know and love about traditional Sonic games.
I'm stuck. I tripped on a stair. I'm dead now.
Open zone platforming.
Wasn't this region locked off before? I think you can interact with it now. I think you can rotate some of them.
I hate this.
How
The
out
sun's
of place
going
does
down
someone
now.
like Amy Rose look
still
like? Just in
doing
the hologram coming in, like Sonic.
In
I
Sonic
have a
Frontiers,
giant pink
Sonic's
cartoon
combat gets an
head.
upgrade.
I'm just hitting the square button. That's all I'm doing. The fuck? Huh? How do I...
See, Donkey, if all you do is hit square, 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 triangle, 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 you will be sucked.
Go... What? What the fuck just happened? Whoa.
Sonic has.
Huh? What's
He's
this?
got a concussion.
What? I'm dead? Should I do this? There. There, I win.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, dickhead.
Sonic would never endanger anyone.
Yeah.
He's even going to help this Coco reunite with their one true love.
Wait, I don't want to do that part.
Oh, hey, Sonic. You come here to fish too?
I found Sonic's one true love.
It's big!
90% of this game's budget just went into making the 3D models for the fish on this.
Complete fun side quests to help rescue Sonic's friends.
What the fuck kind of game is this? Who the fuck? What the fuck happened? Yeah, get back here, you big drip. Oh, they found their one true love.
Now, kid.
What the fuck?
And then they blew
Look at
up.
how happy they are that they don't have to be in this game anymore. Sonic, no!
Oh god, he didn't have any rings. They would have blown out of him otherwise.
Yeah, he's okay, see?
That looked kind of crappy. Sonic games and looking crappy. What else is new?
Yeah, he's okay, see? He's dead. Bada bing, bada boom. You can eat that gabagoo if you catch that monkey. Why is a seagull faster than Sonic? Wait. Sonic cannot match Giganto's power. Oh, yeah? Super Sonic doesn't take damage. I played.
So, that was a thing.
Remember when Tails was on? Remember? Back before Tails had his accident? He was my friend. He was a damn good friend. Now all we have are the memories.
Now we gotta go to level 2, Eggman's Desert. Wait a minute. Where is all the constant popping? And how come it says made in dreams where the speedometer should be?
Okay, I was gonna say, Donkey, are you playing some fan game right there?
Yep, that's the real Sonic. This is the level where we team up with Hank to take down Walter White.
Great, I've got sand in my shoes.
Treasure. Wait, no, my treasure! My treasure is falling down! No, come back! Oh, shit! Oh, fuck! I'm stuck! Oh no!
The world map is bigger than ever. giving Sonic more room to run and explore his surroundings.
I can't move. I'm slamming every button, but I can't move at all. Go! Jump!
See, Donkey's problem is that his rings are only level 4. You gotta have more than level 4 rings if you want to survive the desert zone.
Go! Oh no! Look at this idle animation.
Wait, is this the one in dreams? Or did Donkey just add the dreams? Oh, fuck.
Sonic!
The more gameplay he's exposed to, the more corrupted he becomes. Come on. Come on, little Pikmin. Let's go look for a place to die.
Is Tails dead?
Gameplay.
I've mastered the open zone gameplay and movement system.
Of all the ancient temples I've been in, this one might be the coolest.
Alright, Tomb Raider.
But Sonic, that's the 7th time we've seen that exact temple copy and pasted onto the map.
Hey, I've seen my fair share of pinball machines. I know one when I see one. You're that ninja.
Whee. I like this, but I'm gonna kill this. I'm dead action. Whoa. Whoa. Help me, Hank. What killed me?
Engage in exhilarating combat.
Those sure are words you said just now.
In Sonic Frontiers, Sonic's combat gets an upgrade, making battling enemy...
No, just stop. You're just fucking lying. It's a Sonic game. No, the combat is not fucking great because it's a fucking Sonic game. If we wanted great combat, we'd play a game that's not about being a cartoon character who goes fast. You never see Nintendo hyping up how the combat is going to be in the new Mario because they know it's a fucking platformer and the enemies are just obstacles. Make a different character. If you're going to make this kind of game, just make it a different fucking character. Make a different character in the Sonic universe, and Sonic can show up and be. Sonic can be the cool older brother Jotaro who shows up and kicks a boss's ass for you in a fight. And just have you be playing a character who isn't super fast, because then you can design just normal video game levels that aren't meant to, accommodate a character who's blazing around like a fucking race car.
Is more exciting and fluid than ever before.
Giganto, tear down this wall. Stop spinning like this isn't a real game. Stop spinning. That's it, Giganto. What the fuck? Don't worry, Sonic. It's almost over.
Oh, good.
The end. Wait. He's still going. He just might be able to defeat Giganto. Sonic is dead forever.
So,
they're alive.
No, don't play this game. No.
What even are scores? What even are review scores? That was fun. What is there to say? It's a new 3D Sonic game, so, like with a Targaryen, the gods flip a coin. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm gonna be right back. Hi, kitty. You running? You stuck? Alright, let's see. I'm back from the bathroom. I make things harder than I need them to be in my head. So, okay, wow, right click. I'm gonna pour another drink, but you know what? You know, because it's the right length and it's. Honestly, you know what? Watching a heavy rain would be. Oh, okay, fine.
Here I am.
Fucking ADHD, man. It's like every time you want to do something, it's like every possible step that goes along before and after it also gets tallied up in your head, and it makes it a lot harder to sort shit out than I think it's supposed to be. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to pour myself another drink in a second. And I've got this open. I think I'm going to save this, so this will be in 2 weeks. I think I'm going to save because it's a longer video. But I think I've mentioned before I like Vosh. I'm sub to him. And my personal YouTube account is also sub to him, blah blah blah. But with this video, this one's from 3 years ago, and just the if I remember correctly, I think this is the first ever Vosh video I watched, and it got me like, okay, you know what? I can see why YouTube kept like recommending this guy on my sidebar. Maybe my partner was the one who was like, "Yo, you might like this Vosh guy. Let's watch a video." I can't remember if it was just me just clicking one on the side, or if they were like, "We should watch one," and we watched this. But I remember watching this and liking it. Red Ice TV is like just some sort of like literal Nazi bitch, and I was, at the time it was just Vosh's approach, his reactions, the things he would say in response, the mentality he displayed while watching the horrible, just low. It's hard to make high quality Nazi propaganda because the Nazi position's a pretty shit one. So it's like trying to sell a turd. If you're trying to make Nazi propaganda, it's like trying to sell a turd. But even within the realm of selling turds, it's like you can, there's better, and it's like those local TV commercials that like what Tim and Eric make fun of. Those local TV commercials, like there's better and worse for those when it's just like a dealership and it's just the guy at the dealership and he's like, "Here at Michael's Autos off Interstate 45, we have," and it's just showing the cars and it's just like 20 seconds of like, "These cars, these prices, come down today." It's like, okay, you know what? That's functional. That's at least like a functional, what they are, where they are, you gotta look at all their shit, it's all pretty and shiny, like, cool. This Red Ice TV video, I just remember it was just like 30 seconds into it, Vosh was playing it out, and I was just saying, and I was just like, whoa, this bitch needs to chill. Like, it's like a minute into the video, it's just like, this lady is not slowing down, holy fuck. She's too deep in her Nazi shit, she doesn't know how to dial it down. She doesn't know how to not come off like a fucking crazy fascist person. And that's the kind of stuff that's I think it's really like interesting. It's really interesting to see. And with Vosh's content, you get a good look at that where it's the I don't know if there's an exact term for it, but it's basically just when someone's arguing from a rather extreme position, potentially say a very hateful and bigoted one, we're just, because they believe the crazy shit, since they actually are like a crazy fucking Nazi in their head, they'll say stuff sometimes that like it makes sense to a Nazi and they don't realize, it's like any sort of just communication barrier. It's like we saw that with all the a lot of the like video game presentations where there's an element of like corporate suits and marketing people are the ones like ultimately putting together this video gaming event. So as an actual video game or something, it's like what the fuck is this? It's like, this is boring. This is boring. This isn't what I care, right? Because there's like that disconnect there. So you can run into that, where sometimes just the Nazis will be on like and don't you want to be able to have children that look like you? And it's like, what the, and just as a normal person, like, I'm experienced here. I noticed the dog whistle. Feel about the dog whistle. It's like, if I just said something like that to my grandma, I think my grandma's reaction would just be like, what does that mean? Like, just, that's weird. Right? It's like when Donald Trump said, make America great. He made that his whole fucking catchphrase. And like me, a leftist, and someone who is apparently paid more attention to history than 99% of Americans. It's very sad how little history people seem to know, because that shit helps me out all the time, knowing history. It was like, make America great again, and it's like, in my head I hear that and it's just like, no, I don't want to go back to the past though. The past was like worse for everybody. I have friends who are black. I don't want to make America great again. That's great for who? It's usually white people who say they want things to go back to like the culture of the 1950s. You don't hear that as much from black people. I wonder why. You're not going to hear a lot of Jews wishing they could go back to the culture of the 1930s. Like, oh, things were so great. Back in the day, people were so much more respectful and could just, it's like, these Twitter cancellations are nothing like having brown shirts throw fucking throwing rocks through your store windows and dragging people out in the streets to beat the shit out of them. That's so much more civil than having your Twitter account banned because you were spamming racial slurs. Alright, it's kind of like just that comment says, where I'm guessing this is like quoting her, that just, your blonde hair, blue-eyed baby is so cute, and it's just like, why? Yeah. It's like, it's just that kind of thing where it's like, unless someone's racist, I can't think of why the fuck else you would say it that way. Because I would never say that way. And so I just, it's just a process. I can't remember, I always get mixed up between inductive and deductive logic, but it's just one of those things. It's like the whole calling a black person eloquent, where it's like, how often do you call people besides black people eloquent? Like, I'm watching. I see you. I see you saying, eloquent's a compliment, but you only give it to black people. Like, that's a bit odd. Because I'll say a person's nice, but I'll say anybody's nice. Men, women, young, old, black, white. I'll say fucking anybody's like, oh yeah, they're nice. They're pretty nice. I like talking to them. Like, right? That's not like a compliment I only give out to, like, only Asian women get called nice. Like, no, fucking anybody can be nice. My friends are nice, my mom's nice, my cousin's nice, like. But, oh wow, I'm already going. Ooh, I'm getting charged up from that. But just, this is a 47-minute video, so that's going to be a lot more of a commitment. And I wasn't sure at the start of stream that I was like, I don't think I was like feeling that level of commitment to like, because I'm going to want to say stuff and it'll be a good launching pad. I've already been talking about it for like 5 fucking minutes. We're not even watching this video today. Goddamn. We'll do this. The video games are a very easy place to shit on capitalism from, because I guess it's one of those things where, there's obviously a lot of subjectivity in art, but I think something about like with a video game, because a video game is a software product, there are additional objective measures where we could just say, say glitches. Like we saw in that Donkey video, and that's Donkey's video. It's 8 minutes long. Obviously, however many glitches he ultimately ran into, I don't know. He put the, I'm not saying that that's like some representative example that because there was a glitch every 30 seconds in Donkey's video, that means you'll get a, but it shows at least that in his play experience, he was encountering some amount of like weird glitchy shit that also caused him to like die and have to like start over from a checkpoint. And that's always bad. That's always one of those things in games where it's like, a glitch that makes you, you know, just have to like crouch and then jump to like move again. Like shit like that is considered a lot less damaging to the user experience than like glitches that'll just kill you or like make you stuck and then kill you, or like any sort of glitch that kind of like hard locks you and like has to be reloaded out of. Those are the kind of glitches that like, at least usually from a design perspective, get prioritized because they're like the most disastrous. That's why usually it's you usually don't run into like game glitches that like corrupt your save file or like actually like hard lock you like out of like progressing the game. Those are rare because those are the kinds of things where it's like, hey, if there's like if a character's in this dungeon and they save after they picked up the blue candle, there's like a 30% chance that their save will be corrupted. That's the kind of shit that development tends to be like, okay, we like unironically can't have that happen in the game. We have to fix that. You know, being able to like walk through fucking walls in Skyrim is like, hey, whatever, as long as it doesn't corrupt your save. Like, but I think it's one of those things where just there's so many ways that the capitalist business person, CEO, top-down authoritarian, market-driven, synergistic adjectives of crapitude. There's all sorts of ways in which this contributes to subpar art products, to art products that are worse than they otherwise would have been on the actual merits, you know, the artistic skill of the actual like creatives working on it. And I think with video games, there's a bit more like where you can objectively point to. Like I'm just saying, in terms of the glitch, because we're going to be looking at Andromeda.
At the heart of...
And Andromeda's like one of the actually best examples. You know, I don't know if it's necessarily the best example, because like No Man's Sky is up there, but Andromeda is actually like a top tier example of like, oh, this big, expensive, AAA, you know, cost $60 game is just glitching the fuck out constantly, and it's like seriously hampering the playability. It's like if you bought a new car and just half the time when you press the gas pedal down it just didn't do anything. Like, you could press it a couple more times and like it'll click in eventually, but if just every other time you hit the gas it was like, oh, nope, gotta, okay, there we go. Like, that'd be a weird problem for a car to have. Video games will just, it's partly because software's complicated and everything's all like interlinked together, so you know, it's really easy to make software break even when you're not trying to. If you've ever done any kind of programming is really fucking hard. It's, you know, there's a reason programming and testing and that shit all takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of, you know, experienced, intelligent, hardworking people to actually solve those kinds of problems. But I just want to kind of draw that distinction. Like, it's a lot rarer in like a film where, like I think like in YMS's video on The Lion King, the live action remake, I guess it's just as part one, because he only covered the first half of the movie, even though it's like a 2-hour video, which I'm not knocking YMS for. That video is fucking great. I'll watch that shit on stream sometime. I'll just pull it up now as a reference, because it's like a 2-hour video. But like, there was like one party found in here where there was a note that was wrong, like in one of the songs. I think it was in the like intro Circle of Life song, and he just found like one spot where comparing it seemed like one of the notes was like off a key from what it's supposed to be. And that seems like that might just be like an actual legitimate error. But that kind of shit in a film, you know, compare how many glitches we saw in that Sonic game. I'm like, in this film, I think, and I agree with YMS's assessment, that it's a very poor film in a lot of ways. But it's like, it's not a poor film because sometimes when Simba turns to the camera, like, he doesn't have eyes in his head, right? It's not a poor movie because during the gazelle stampede, when they're running through the canyon, like, the gazelles aren't like clipping through rocks, and that's why it's a bad scene. That's way more the kind of shit you see in video games. You know, in a film, the example would be something like if there's like a blank black frame somewhere, like that's a rare one, but sometimes you might, I've seen that sometimes on Best of the Worst, where there's just like, where if they pause and, you know, they see it watching, and then if they pause, there's just like a black frame for no fucking reason, and it's just like, that's weird. But, you know, it's the nature of the products. It's a lot easier to... But I think it's just one of those things where it's designers generally, they don't want their game to be glitchy messes, and I mean... You know, I know there's aspects of, like, you know, as if the game is more complicated, you have, like, a modern 3D game with moving parts, with lots of moving parts, I do get that there's more places where shit can break. I get that. But it's one of those things about just, like, I think the big thing, because I want to just give this idea to anyone who's, like, not much of a gamer or isn't as used to things on that aspect. I think the big thing that determines, like, the bothersomeness of game glitches is just, like, how prominent they are and how easy it is to just accidentally run into them. Because I've seen, like, in the Super Mario Bros. Speedruns, like, there are, you know, the original Super Mario Bros. On the NES, there are plenty of glitches in that game. You can go to world -1 if you fuck with stuff. You can do, like, a weird glitch to, like, get on the other side of the flagpole and, like, run to the end of the level faster. You can, I've seen in a Summoning Salt video talking about the speed run where there's a glitch you can do where it has, like, a 1 frame, like a 1/60th of a second timing, but you can just jump into a wall and just somehow, like, glitch shove Mario into the wall and then just keep running, and you're just running through wall tiles until you, like, hop out on the other side, and it saves, like, 3 seconds to do that, like... So, like, that's a pretty big glitch if you can just jump into a wall and fucking, like, clip into it, but that glitch also requires, like, 1/60th of a second timing that even, like, people who have played the game thousands of times have trouble consistently pulling off. You know, I've played the original Super Mario Bros. I had, like, a Game Boy Color game that was, like, the OG Super Mario Bros. So I played that. It's a fun game. It's a good game. And, like, I never got Mario clipped into a fucking wall. Like, that shit's hard to pull off. Your typical playthrough of Super Mario Bros. On the NES is, like, not gonna see any glitches. Whereas, as we saw with Sonic Frontiers, Donkey was literally just, like, getting knocked into stuff and sliding around weirdly on terrain and getting stuck in it, and like, none of that is his fault or something he can even be expected to do something about. It's an issue with how the game itself is made and handling things. So that's just one thing I want to draw attention to there. Okay, I'm going to play this. I'll lead into it slightly, and I'll make my drink while it's playing for a minute, so stream can just enjoy that, but then I'll come back and have some laughs with you. Seen this before, but this is Donkey playing Heavy Rain, which I guess came out in 2010. It's a David Cage game. David Cage is not a great writer, but David Cage doesn't know that. So his games are very narrative focused, and they got a whole choicey thing, and again, I just stress it's... If you're listening to this in 2022, that might not sound like anything, but it's like, this is 2010. Like, this is... There's a lot of games that go on that kind of vibe nowadays. The one thing I will give to David Cage is that he legitimately was a bit of a... For those types of games, he was one of the first people, with, you know, and having, like, an actual fucking studio behind him, too. You know, dozens of people. He was making a unique kind of game that really, really didn't exist anywhere elsewhere during, like, this time period and, like, years before, because this ain't the first game he made. But yeah, David Cage isn't a good writer, and the games themselves aren't actually good, and you know, it's there's trouble with trying to make a very, like, immersive 3D high fidelity serious realistic game when you're on more of like a double, I don't know if David Cage. It's not like it's it's not AAA development. It's not like Mass Effect Andromeda or like a Call of Duty or like a Super Mario, right? It's more like single double A, where just they're a legit studio. They crank out games on a process. They got an office. They got dozens of employees, but it's like their budget's probably like a fifth of that of what like a new Halo game would have. Just total spitball numbers. You know how it is with movies. They're a lot more of a Deadpool than like an Avengers kind of thing. And that's what we're selling it, because I actually like the Deadpool movie. But it's just one of those things about design that it's like, I mean, you do see the shit with movies less often because people can just tell on paper that's going to be bad, but you sometimes hear about some like foreign movie where it's all like computer effects, all this like crazy CGI, right? It's like, it's like some Chinese movie that's trying to be like the next Avatar, but it like doesn't have the budget or technology behind it, so you end up with just a movie that like sometimes looks as good as Avatar and then other times looks like a PlayStation 3 cutscene, because turns out making a movie that looks like Avatar is still pretty fucking hard. Like, yeah, James Cameron did it back in like 2009 or whatever, but then it's like, well, you're not James Cameron though, John Carmack made a fast, tight, first-person shooter in the 90s, but are you as good a programmer as John Carmack? Probably fucking not. Anyway.
It's one of the greatest games ever done. In this game, you can actually hear your character's thoughts.
I'm as clean as a whistle. Time to get dressed.
This is the whitest man ever created.
I've got some time before Grace and the kids get back. Better get some work done. Better get some work done. I'm thirsty. Should be some orange juice in the fridge. I could go for a cup of coffee.
I thought you wanted orange juice.
Oof, it's stuffy in here. It's almost lunchtime.
Ethan, can you please help me?
I'm coming.
Yeah. Oh, almost. Yeah. Oh.
Never mind, I'll do it. Managed to get any work done?
Not really. I tried, but
Can you please help me? There should be plates in the living room cupboard.
No problem, leave it to me. I told Grace I'd take care of the plates. I'll go play with the kids after.
Yeah, do that first.
The plates should be in the living room cupboard.
Okay, let's go get the plates now.
I feel like playing with the kids. The plates can wait.
Hey, Ethan, I thought I asked you to take care of the plates.
I forgot.
Hey!
Okay, I heard all of this. I was trying not to just laugh from the other room. For having fun, sharing my own nerdy self, some of my own game thoughts. But so I think that's an interesting problem to think about. And as I think we've already seen, this game really doesn't handle this problem well. But I'll call it just the problem of how does the game handle it if the player is not cooperating? Because this happens in a lot of David Cage games where they run into this issue that they're ultimately as much as there's some branching of what you can pick, there's still a very clear linear orientation that you're going in. And we can see with some of the him fucking up the chores that there is this real time aspect of it of okay, if you don't do this within 60 seconds, then it's gonna progress things in a way, and I like that. But you especially see it with the quick time events when you have to grab at a thing by holding the trigger. That just if you don't cooperate, the game just does not have. Because we're gonna see a lot of that where it's just it's hold the right trigger to grab the, and you're just gonna see and it just looks very janky, and it just completely stops the game in its tracks. And I'll say it's a hard problem to solve because there's ultimately some extent of, I mean, if the player isn't cooperating, it's just, you know, you can't make someone want to play the game. I mean, you know, at a fundamental level, if you're just gonna sit there with your like hands folded, then yeah, the game's not gonna be too good. But you know, if you go to a baseball game and you put your hands over your eyes, like it's probably gonna be pretty fucking boring, and that's on your end. You gotta meet them where they're able to get to. You know, they can't bring it to you 100% of the way. If you got a restaurant, you gotta be willing to like open your mouth and chew your food, because they're not gonna chew it for you. You gotta go to a retirement home for that. But in these games, and for Donkey, who like clearly doesn't give a shit and isn't taking the game seriously at all, which, fair, if you've seen this game before, fair. It's more fun if you don't take it seriously, but we're just gonna see a lot of, because it's hard to design from too, because we'll just see the issue this game runs into is if they throw a bunch of quick time events at you, like they'll very rarely make it so that you'll just like actually lose or like die or have like a hard shift happen in the plot. Because sometimes it's just one of those things where just, you know, it's hard to make game content. It's expensive and time consuming to make game content. So the issue always with a less linear design is it's always this question of like, what percentage of the game are we as like the developer okay with the player not seeing? And most games try to make it so that the player will experience the overwhelming majority of the content, because just cost wise that's like, you know, kind of like, oh, obvious, like duh. But exceptions can be very, very interesting, and it's very like it can be very powerful in a game when you have exceptions. I'll point to like Elden Ring as a modern example from a AAA budget game, where there are entire zones in Elden Ring that you don't actually have to go to in order to just progress the main plot. There are entire zones with fortresses and unique enemies and bosses and all kinds of items you can grab and like multiple sites of grace bonfires that you can use as checkpoints, and you can just never go to certain zones because there's only like certain bosses that are the actual like critical bosses that have to be beaten for the game's quests to progress. There's all other bosses where like they might get you really nice stuff and it might be super fun and cool to like raid their place, but that's an interesting thing in Elden Ring, that like if you're playing the game through for a second or third time, or if you want to try to like speed run the game or something, you can be really selective about what content you hit. But then it's also, Elden Ring is just such a large, like impressive, fleshed out game that even if you were doing like a run of Elden Ring where you're gonna like just deliberately skip half the zones, it probably still take you like 50 or 60 hours because it's just such a big fucking game. I'm one of those people, I know I'm not alone in this, where just when the game first came out, I think I just spent like 30 hours between Limgrave and then like the Weeping Peninsula, that's like kind of the second southern half of Limgrave. I think I was just in those two zones for legit like 30 hours before I moved forward. And it's like at no point did I feel like I was stuck. I was doing shit that entire time. And the reason I didn't leave to go to the other zones yet was because I was just like, but I still haven't been in that one cave. I've been in these other 7 caves, but I want to go in the 8th cave because there's going to be a boss in that cave and I want to fucking kill him and see what item I get. So that's an example where, because Elden Ring will just if you play the game, there's like a jar town, like Jarburg, and it's in one of the zones that's not the first zone, but it's in the zone, but it's a little bit hidden, and I just didn't know about that zone until I was like way closer to the end of the game, where I think I just saw it mentioned somewhere, or I might have been looking up the quest line for one of the NPCs, where I was just like, you know, with the big jar NPC guy, I think his name's Alexander too, but I saw something where just at some point I just came upon that, like, oh, there's a Jarburg, it's in this zone, and I was just like, fucking where? And I go and find it, and I can see how I ended up missing it, but it's like the zone it's in is a zone that I also probably spent 30-ish hours around, running back and forth, and there's this whole little like side town full of NPCs, and they were all unique. It's a town that's all populated by the like living jar people, and I only found that town 150 hours in. I'm like, I'm on the fucking icy mountains going to fight the fire giant, and then I'm like, wait, Jarburg, where the fuck is that? That's a well-designed game, Elden Ring. It's like a 5-star Michelin buffet of a game.
Ethan, you said you were going to be careful.
I'm sorry, I'll be more generous.
Ethan!
I know, I'm being careful.
Oh god, this is fun. I'm happy with this. I'll just say quickly, I don't know what he's doing wrong with the plates, and that's an issue, because it's like, he's being too rough with the plates, and then the wife complains every time you fail and are rough with the plates. But with this cutting edge power of the 8-cell processor of the Sony PlayStation 3 TM, I'm watching this guy, and he's placing things down like, and she's like, "Whoa, take it easy," and he's just like, I'm sorry, I'll be more gentle with the plates." She's like, "Whoa, you're gonna fucking break shit," and it's like, but he's not though. He's not gonna break it at all. It's fine. What the fuck's wrong with you? If you don't know better, you watch the scene and and it's like, oh, is his wife unwell? Is his wife like not well, and that's why she's freaking out, and he's like meekly going along with it because that's like how he copes with her mental illness. Like, it's just there's something for an old game where just Peach's little face presses into Mario's little face, and then a little heart comes up at the middle, and you can just say to yourself like, oh, she kissed him.
Ethan!
Come on, Dad. Show us how strong you are. Big muscles.
Be careful, hang on.
Fuck! Damn it! They're too heavy.
The camera changing between before you press it, like, okay, we got the text here on the side, and then the rapid, but we got the text here, but then once you start pressing X, it's like, okay, now we bring you in, and like, now you're lifting your children, this is exciting, you are Ethan Winters. I think Ethan Winters is Resident Evil 8. I'm getting my generic white boy Ethans mixed up. Oh god, Resident Evil 8, but you imagine it's this fucking Ethan. I can't lose a third child! I can't lose my third child!
Heavy.
Spoilers for 2 games.
Damn. Give up. What the hell? Oh my god!
Jason!
This scene, I remember, I would read gaming magazines, I think still at the time, or just I check on the gaming sites, and like this scene, this was the like new special feature introducing David Cage's Heavy Rain, and it's like this was the scene they were talking about of like you're in this mall and it's like full of like hundreds of characters walking around and you're like trying to find your son, and it's this like serious, the panic of a parent who's lost their child in a public space, and it's like, and this is the kind of like vibe of emotional intensity that Heavy Rain is going to, and then you see the actual scene is just Jason, or again, it's one of those things where just the writing where like I'll put this in a way where I don't use the R slur. Jason seems like he's probably 6 or 7, but in this scene, they give him the mind of like a 2-year-old. Like a 2-year-old who's just like really finally like gotten a handle on walking. And they sometimes do that 2-year-old shit where they just fucking waddle off into the, and you gotta be like, no, come on. Like, where are you going? why are you doing this? Or my little cousin doing that sometimes. He just fucking start sprinting off in a direction. It's like, okay, he's like 3, so we can catch him, but it's also like, where are you going? You know we have to get you when you do that. And that's just the weird writing stuff where all that kind of stuff builds up and you just end up with like the Jim Sterling-esque thing of like, is David Cage a human? Like, what is wrong? Like, where it's just like, David Cage is not a normal human. Like, you look at all his games where he's writing these narrative-driven, emotional, deep, serious games. But he seems to not understand human relations very well. You know, it's like the Tommy Wiseau effect, I guess I'll call it, right? Where it's, you watch Tommy Wiseau's, you watch The Room, and very quickly the question, the gripping question of the movie becomes like, what the fuck is wrong with Tommy Wiseau that like in his brain he did all this and thought it was a good idea? David Cage has one of those where it's like, okay, what if when David Cage looks at this game, he legitimately is like, yes, it's beautiful. It's exactly what I'd hoped for. Because then it's like, what? Yeah, it's like what's going on in his brain where he's like, yes, and then but he will place the plates too roughly, which will earn him a scorning from the wife who cares very much for the condition of her plates. Yes, Game of Thrones. It is not. I'll put it this way. I like Game of Thrones. You know, season 8 and 7, 0 out of 10. Put the directors on a cross. But I'll say with George R.R. Martin, because people be like, oh, he's horny because they're sexing. It's like, for how long those books are, like honestly, it's not that horny. It's not even that horny. If he was horny, there would not be so much of these books that is about people just being tired and miserable and sad and suffering. Like it, I've read a porno before. When the writer's horny, it's like 3 pages and like, oh, okay, they're fucking. But I'm just with Game of Thrones. You might come away with some. If you read the work and you think seriously on it and what it's like saying and how it's saying, how it's presenting it. There's thoughts you can come away with, and you can like even see, just in interviews where it's like, if you ask George R.R. Martin about like power relations between humans or what it means for a human to be a king and to be ruling and serving over other humans, like that is shit he's clearly thought about a lot because it's all very present in the themes and just the plot of Game of Thrones, that there's a lot of stuff about like power and authority and hierarchy and ruling and what it is to rule and what kind of society and how that society is shaped. And because it's this interesting thing where it's it's different kingdoms going to war, and it's just there's similarities, but it's, in the modern world we're used to, if like there's a war, it's between nation states. But in this Game of Thrones, this more medieval setting, there can be a war between kingdoms. And a war between kingdoms can start because the king of one of those kingdoms wants to do it for whatever reason. But just, it's like, the nature of what a conflict is can potentially be much more, it can be a lot more derived from just like individual, human, like personal, like petty grievances. Right? Like, there's just a lot of people who are just driven for power and authority because that's what being like a king is. You just have the power and authority and you can kind of just do whatever the fuck you want within your own kingdom. The whole thing of like the Mad King being disposed because he was like actually a shit enough king, where it's like, it's not just that he was a shitty king because he was an absolutely shitty king, but it's also that he was just like starting to have other lords and kings be executed on bullshit. So then it's all the other kings or all the other lords. It's like, well, okay, if the Mad King is willing to burn, Lord Stark of the Northern, Lord Stark of the North, if he's willing to just like burn him on a pyre for like really no good reason, and just piss off literally every northerner that way, then like he's just gonna fucking kill us sometime. So we might as well all just, because that was like the Game of Thrones thing where it's the Mad King told Lord Aaron to of the Vale to give up Ned Stark, and Robert Baratheon and Jon Arryn was like, no, I like these two guys, and you're going to kill them. And then just that was the start of a civil war, because he was Aerys start, him being horrible and like slaughtering all sorts of innocent people isn't what ultimately like got him killed and got his family's reign ended. It's that he started going after other lords in the same way, and that's interesting shit that you can get and come from with Game of Thrones, where just George R.R. Martin doesn't seem to be like lacking like a chromosome or something the way David Cage is. Fuck, I am talking a lot.
Jason!
What?
Hey, champ! What's your name? Jason! Which balloon would you like? Jason!
Jason, wait for me. Wait for your dad, son. It's really crowded in here.
Bye-bye, Dad. I don't want to get hit with the sword anymore.
Sir, you owe me $2.
Oh no, the sun is getting away. Oh no. Oh no, the money's not in that pocket. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, is it in the right pocket? Oh, it's not in there. Oh, check the other pocket.
Which pocket?
The kid is getting away. Where is the money? Oh no, there you go. The kid is gone.
Jason!
Press X to Jason.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Now's your chance to yell Jason. This is the perfect opportunity.
Quick, I need to go downstairs now or I'm gonna lose him in the crowd.
This man is not cut out to be a father.
Jason! Jason!
Okay, you remember what I said about Jason acting like a 2-year-old? Why is this kid running back and forth across streets? Like, what does Jason think he's doing right now? Also, that car stopped like right there. And I just gotta point this out, but in terms of the dad grabbing the kid, and the car immediately stopping really does just fuck it up, because it makes it look like Kazuma and fucking Konosuba getting hit by a parked tractor. But it's just the dad like wraps the kid up and like takes so the kid's gonna die, but it's like, how does the kid die? He like didn't even he's not even the one who got love tapped.
Jason got hit by a car and died, even though it didn't look like he did. And then the wife divorced the man, and he had to move out of his $4 million Minecraft house so that he could live in the creepy house from Resident Evil 7.
My teddy! I haven't got my teddy, Dad, please.
Are children able to like talk where David Cage lives? I as a 7-year-old sound like his fucking tongue has peanut butter under it.
I can't sleep without him.
It's your game!
That's too bad, Sean. Time to sleep now.
Oh no,
Nothing
Dad.
personal, kid.
Please, I need my teddy.
No, we'll find it in the morning. Now go to sleep.
Mom would never put me to bed without Teddy. Why are you mean like that? It's not my fault that Jason is gone. It's not my fault.
I'm thirsty.
Kid took that teddy bear missing up to like fucking 11. Mom always lets me go to bed with my teddy. My brother was killed by your negligence, father.
Should be some orange juice in the fridge. Boomerang? You know how to use it?
No.
Do it like this.
Don't want to play that game anymore.
Well, so much for trying to impress him with the boomerang.
Come on, Dad, make me fly.
Wait.
Go on, Dad, as fast as you can.
This is so sad.
I don't want to play that game anymore.
I want to.
Okay, and then just the like fucking French translation aspects of everything, that the kid's referring to everything as like a game. Because it's just not a great translation. It's like, I know Metroid Other M had that issue where it's the one bad guy who's called like the deleter, and it's like, guys, you gotta get someone who speaks English to do a final fucking pass on the script. Like, you can't be having that kind of shit in your multi-million-dollar video game media project. Like, just get one person who natively speaks English to be like, why is he calling everything a game? It's not a game. That's like a thing you play on. You don't call that a game. A slide isn't a game. Swings aren't a game. Like, yeah, you play games and he's playing, but he's not playing a game. Yeah.
I want to get back to being the kind of father I used to be.
Sean, where are you?
What kind of father was that? Oh, that's just the poor writing and poor scripting. I won't get into it because... Oh, this would be a fun game to stream. Oh, this could be a fun game to stream. Disco Elysium. I'll just make the very quick allusion there in terms of a game that can that properly deals with and accounts for the various narrative and dialogue choices it has you make. Disco Elysium is a very, very good modern example of a game that does that. Disco Elysium handles its shit. Disco Elysium, if you say weird shit to someone the first time you meet them, and then later you have to talk to them for something important, they will be put off because of the weird shit you said to them earlier, because they remember that weird fucking conversation. Like... Because the most minor Disco Elysium spoilers, but there's just like this, early on in the game, there's like a random lady outside the bookshop, and you can talk to her, and you have like nothing to say to her, so in order to have a conversation with her, you basically just have to like pester her, and just like revel in like the fact that you're a cop, and so you can ask her questions about the case, yada yada, but you're just clearly annoying this woman, and it's like... it's like a bit of it's like punishing you for if you're just doing like total like gamer brain of like I have to go through every dialogue option with the person, because it's like, well, yeah, why would you be like, this lady doesn't want to talk to you, she's reading a book in front of a bookstore, like, so you're hassling her. So the conversation has a whole tone of like, you're hassling this lady and she would really like you to leave. But then there's the thing where a little bit later in the game you find a dead body of a drunk guy who just like had an accident and hit his head and died, and then as you do a little bit of tracking down on that, because it's like, it's not hard to solve, it's not like the main murder mystery you're solving, but you go to the guy's house, and guess who answers the door? It's that same lady. So like on my first playthrough, I didn't harass or harangue her, so it was just like, oh, okay, it's that lady from before. Like, okay, but, just, we have to tell this woman that her husband, like, fucking died and we found his body. And, this is very sad and hard, so it's like, it's an intense, hard scene for that. But if you're a character, and you can justify this in the game, because Harry's super amnesiac, like, drug addict, who's horribly hungover, he does weird, stupid shit. There's a good lore reason for any dumb, stupid shit your character does, and that he's horrendously hungover and has amnesia. But it's like, if you were a weird asshole to that lady earlier, then when you answer, then when you talk, you have a very different tone to the conversation, because she like already because from the moment she opens the door, she's like, she hates you. Oh fuck, it's this annoying asshole again. And that's an interesting thing, that like... Or there's another example of another character where she's the first character you can talk to, and just because she's the first character you can talk to, you can say some really dumb shit to her. And then later at some point you need to have a real conversation with her, and you actually can end up having like a bunch of like negative skill checks you have to try to pass, or you'll take damage, because your character Harry is like realizing that like, oh no, I said really. I asked her if I could make sex at her. I can't interview this woman. I said I want to make fuck at you. If you said I want to make fuck at you at her, then when it's time to go interview her for real, Harry is going to remember that, and he will not be happy. And that's funny. That shit's Disco Elysium does a good blend of being like really tragic and dark, and also being really funny in like all sorts of just ironic and dramatic ways. And just sometimes just legit being funny. There's just a lot of funny shit in Disco Elysium. Which is well warranted, because otherwise Disco Elysium's like really dark and bleak.
Sean! I'm thirsty. Should be some orange juice in the fridge.
He lost the other son now. This guy fucking sucks.
I'm the origami killer. I black out, and then the murdering starts. I could go for a cup of coffee.
I'm the origami killer.
Now hear me out. Maybe this guy is the killer. Why is this random lady taking such good care of this random psycho? She's the killer.
Give me what you got in the register. Don't fucking try anything.
Pug, I don't know what would have happened if you had not been here.
Well, this I didn't come by for nothing. I'm gonna rock you very gently so you can have a nice little snooze.
Okay, all right.
Well, I know one thing for certain. There is no way in the world this guy is the killer.
I just remembered something.
Does
Maybe
he
it's not
know?
important, but a letter arrived in the mail the morning Johnny disappeared.
A letter? It was typed with an old typewriter. Could be a lead, you never know.
Are you fucking kidding?
So you found my little secret?
What the fuck?
I don't want to play that game anymore.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry about that. Please accept my. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh, you'll have to excuse. Get out of the way. Die.
Jason!
I just want to introduce. Excuse me. Now let's go over here.
Rogan, I'm Donkey Kong. Die! Fuck you, die! We
Kill that guy. Kill it. Oh no.
Oh, wait.
Get that guy. Get that. Give me a hug. Get that. There you go.
Yeah. Not to ruin the suspense, but this will be an example of, I think, of what I mentioned earlier, where the game has a problem of it wants you to do all these little quick time events to, affect, like, oh, you're trying to chase this guy, and if you screw up the quick time events, like, oh, you get caught up on things, he's getting farther away, oh no, drama, tension, action, even a little bit of gameplay for your fingers to play with. But as we're going to see, Donkey, in his uncooperativeness, will expose a big fucking problem, which is that you can screw up every single event and you'll still get to the guy at the end, and it won't actually matter. Because it's not like you have a health bar. It's not like you're losing health or something and like that has an effect. Nope.
Oh, how the fuck does doors work? Oh, watch out for the box!
And instead, it's actually, and I'll just let it play, but it ends up just making shit real like Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes, and also, I ask you, this is a country-dependent question, but in America, I have never seen live chickens in a grocery store. The most you'll ever get for live animals in a grocery store is maybe lobsters in a lobster tank.
Watch out! Oh no! Watch out! Oh no! The boxes again! It can't be right!
Fucking like phase through those boxes.
Oh, that's it! Now's your chance! Get that guy! Come on! He did it! He can do it! Not ice!
The elbow breaker!
Not again! Not the ice again! Oh! Thank God this lobster is here! Oh! Oh, not the chicken! I hate these damn birds!
first time I watched this video of donkeys, I had to like stop when the chickens appeared because I just had to look at my partner. We were watching the game. I just had to be like, "Have you? This game doesn't take place in China. Like, what? Does France have chickens in the fucking grocery stores? Because I think David Cage is French, so it's just that's where a lot of the bad voice acting comes in. Because it's like, oh god, these are fucking French kids who are speaking their second language, and the come on, Dad, I want to go le play. I'm doing the most shit examples I know. I'm gonna fill up my water bottle, and we'll do another donation. But while I'm just filling my water bottle, play a little bit of the best thing ever from this fucking game.
I knew you'd come and save me.
Ethan! I know who the killer is, Ethan. I can prove your innocence.
John! Congratulations, Ethan. You succeeded. You're the father that I have been looking for all these years. The man capable. You are honest.
He's like the fucking Hulk or something. Ethan Sean. Oh man, press X to Sean. Press X to Sean. Alright. Now because this is a Billionaire Buster stream, I'm going to take what is a radical step under the capitalist economy. I'm going to think to myself, I've got some spare money. And I'm pretty happy and content. What if I help some of my fellow humans with some of their problems that can be solved by money? Because if the money's just sitting in my bank account, that doesn't, at a certain point, it doesn't like really do anything for me. But like as we saw with this one family, their fucking house burned down. And they lost everything in the house fire. I remember growing up in a house. If my house had ever burnt the fuck down, I would have really appreciated any help we can get. All right, this one's real close. Okay, it's over. I don't want to donate to things that are past the limit they set, because then that feels like I should go for things that are still trying to make their limit, How many fires are there? Okay, let's go with one from Ohio. Okay, so 23-year-old Sam Codling, pictured here. You can tell, because he's in the center of the frame, asserting dominance. Oh, the other soldier's with his mom. Oh, that's cute. Okay, anyway. Was struck by a probably drunk driver, because they haven't identified the driver, so they think he was drunk. But he was struck by a drunk driver who did not stop and ran off. Now, that's awful. I believe on one of the last streams I shared a personal anecdote about my grandfather's older brother being killed by a drunk driver when they were kids. So, you know, fucking right in my feels. He's been transported to a trauma unit and is currently in critical condition. And yeah, so money goes to help support him, support his family, and pay for the medical bills, which, if he's in critical condition, yeah, 20 grand, very, very fair and reasonable goal for, getting fucking just wrecked by some drunk asshole. Don't drive drunk, people. Just don't. It's like, driving drunk is one of those crimes that pisses. I mean, okay. I mean, no one likes drunk drivers, but I guess yeah. If it was like submit one complaint, submit one particular aspect of drunk driving that pisses you off. You know, besides it kills innocent people all the time. I think it just partly annoys me that it's like. It's the most preventable crime, because the thing with drunk driving is you could just not do it. Just don't drive drunk. Problem solved. It's not hard to not drive when you're drunk. You just don't do a thing. How hard is it to not do a thing? Okay, shit. This is ill timing. My cat needs to be played with. For it is 8 o'clock and it's his feeding time. So I'm going to play with you, buddy. I will be back in 5 minutes. Buddy. Yeah, it's good time. It's playtime. Alright, sorry about that. I just totally lost track of time. Huh, I've been going for longer than I thought I would. There I go, busting on billionaires once again. Alright, this one's a bit of a longer one. I'll try not. I've said plenty, so I'll try not to go on any super long digressions. Hoping I don't have cat food on my fingers. But yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda. So I know there's some article out there. What is it? Okay, yeah, Jason Schreier. That's the guy. So this is one of those things where I don't know how much of it Kroby Cat's video will be able to show. Kroby Cat's video will mostly be, I think, is mostly going to be a mix of all the hype and marketing push behind the game, then contrasted with how horrendously, obviously glitchy and half-baked in a lot of ways the game was. I'll also say I've never played Mass Effect Andromeda. I've played Mass Effect 1 and 2, and I've seen a lot of footage of Mass Effect Andromeda. But yeah, it's one of those things where basically the way that Mass Effect Andromeda had a 5-year development is that it had a very, very dysfunctional development, and that a lot of the time during those 5 years ultimately was spent on things that didn't really contribute to the actual game that ended up coming out. So I recall this article is a very good kind of a go through on just how troubled and wasteful, and you know, that's my anti-capitalist thing, that just so much just money and just, you know, in a way, you know, it's disrespectful to the people who are actually working and trying to, you know, to all the sound and music and the actual, you know, animators who are probably working 80-hour weeks trying to, because, you know, it's the game's got animation problems up the ass, but it's one of those things where it's not that the animators were bad, it's that they had way more animation work that needed to be done than they had, like, you know, a fraction of the, like, actual, like, labor capacity to pull, and they just, like, never fix that. So it's just, you know, because it's just one of those, it's one of those things, you know, you could have a great musician working on the soundtrack for your game, but if you're like, in 1 year, make us 50 full-length songs, it's like, that's a bad idea to ask for that. Like, that's too many songs. That's too many songs in too short a time. Like, you should learn to not want those things. You know, ask the Star music creator guy, ask him to make 12 songs in a year. 12 songs in a year. You know, Banjo-Kazooie, great soundtrack in that game. They didn't go fucking nuts with it. They created a reasonable amount of songs of a reasonable length with instrumental variety, and Banjo-Kazooie has a very beloved video game soundtrack. I like Banjo-Kazooie's soundtrack a lot. It's really nice. It's super nostalgic too. It's also just a good soundtrack. There's that, and then I'm trying to remember what's the yeah, Seamus Young. Okay, that's the other guy who Seamus is one of those guys who's like been in the game industry from, I think, like kind of like the pre-internet days. So he's one of those people who like actually has, you know, some, you know, he had to get like an English degree and actually do writing before he could get a job at a video game journalism company. Well, I know he's running his own blog, but it's just, it's not like nowadays where you could just be a 16-year-old and just start your own blog and just start talking and giving your thoughts on video games, or just like start putting videos on YouTube. But anyway, in terms of, I've read this article, or it's a multi-part article, and I like Seamus Young. I'm not trying to say I like him. I'm saying that, like, I've read Seamus Young shit like that, like 10 years ago. I read stuff of his and liked it. But he's got his whole article where I think he goes over, you know, general problems with the game, but if I'm remembering right, I think he does a lot of focus then on the plot. Yeah, he does like a lot of focus on the plot and the writing and the characters, and he gets into, I'll just say it, there's a lot of the whole game. It's it's just poorly written. That's just a simple way to put it. And then B, it's a massive case of missed opportunities. Because they go to a whole new fucking galaxy, but there's like 2 or 3 new races only, and they brought like all the main races from the original Milky Way galaxy. So it's like, that's a wasted premise. That's what the issue is. It's a wasted premise. But I recall really liking this, and it's a lengthy, detailed, like breakdown, review, critique on the game's story. So, well, anyway, those are 2 articles as supplements to talk about various aspects of the problems with this game. Now we'll have the nice, fun, tight 20-minute Kroby Cat showcase.
Mass Effect Andromeda is a question.
Bump the quality.
At the heart of Mass Effect Andromeda is a question. How far will we go? The Mass Effect trilogy is a huge part of our history and the lives of many of our fans. It was an amazing story, but this is a whole new adventure. We're building on the things you love about Mass Effect. Amazing stories and gameplay, and now we're letting our imaginations run wild. How far will we go? That question is also at the heart of the development of Mass Effect Andromeda. And for the first time, it's all powered by Frostbite, which means you're going to see, hear, and feel Mass Effect like never before. That's our promise to you.
I'm so excited. It's using the Frostbite engine.
Simulating the ocean is hard. Simulating
Frostbite engine.
a face is harder.
You've played other good games that look good on that engine.
Super fast graphics
So this game will also
new
look good
creative
if it's on that engine.
and high-resolution pictures are rapidly taking us to the point where audiences can't tell if it's real.
This is going to feel like, in many ways, Mass Effect 1 again. Like, you'll be able to experience things for the first time again. And that was our goal, because we didn't want to just retread ground and make it feel like this was Mass Effect 4.
The faces and their animations in this game were not done.
What happened?
You were clinically dead for 22 seconds.
Oh my fucking god, what is wrong with your face?
This is next generation. This is what it looks like. Like, some of the textures and characters look better in 3.
It's really going to be something, isn't it? I haven't even shown you the best part.
Fuck it, don't tell her anything. Kill it.
All right, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father. Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything.
And they just look a little bit off. I wrote in my preview, I think they kind of look like Sims 3 era Sims. They sort of just, something about their eyes is a little bit off. Their eyelashes are incredibly thick and just obviously like stuck to their face.
Be aware, that's all.
Don't worry. I majored in glad handing during Pathfinder training.
Don't like being sat on, huh?
ER is Ellen Ryder. He put her here. Scott, it's Mom.
Normally, I'd be fine to having a sorry sit on me, but with this one, I don't know. She's gonna glitch her ass cheeks through my skull and kill me. Death by snoo-snoo.
I don't... How... Wow, how is this possible?
Scott Ryder with the inferior facial hair. Weep. Weep at the poor hair on the faces of the Mass Effect engine. Someone in this engine couldn't handle my fucking high fidelity, inch-long follicles. It's just... I like being able to have a beard. It's fun.
I suppose you're right.
Incoming call. Patching it through. Sam! Now!
Okay, as a human, some of these like fucking hurt to see. It's like it's like I'm in The Thing or I'm in Anime Parasite, and I'm just it's like, did I just like, am I safe here? That's it. I see the faces going like that. And I just hear like, I'm not safe here. I need to go. I need to go. Where's a light? I gotta run towards some light.
Patching it through. Sam! Now!
I'm in a Junji Ito and the lady's face is about to fall off and I'm gonna see the fucking like worms inside and like, oh god, I'm not safe here.
Simulating a face is harder. However, at some point, it gets sufficiently real, it falls off a cliff, and it gets creepy. At some point, it gets creepy.
I don't know what that first one was. iRobot, Tintin. I like the Tintin movie. I saw it once in theaters, but I recall like liking it. It was fun. iRobot, I've seen a couple times. Because I was at the right age to think that movie was fucking cool. And, you know, Will Smith, he's not going to let those robots talk any shit about his goddamn wife. That first picture, I'm just trying to... I just don't even... That is Bumblebee from Transformers. Okay. It was so zoomed in, and I was thinking like human faces. I wasn't like thinking Bumblebee, but I mean he would definitely be, I guess, on the scale of like a human face, but also not ever going to be confused for one.
And it gets creepy. At some point, it gets creepy.
You start this, I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah? You and what army?
I don't need an army. I've got a Krogan.
You know, if you're gonna glass a Krogan, you should probably like fucking look at it when you're glassing it. This bitch glassed a Krogan in the face and then got distracted. As if there was anything else more important happening in the room than the Krogan she just fucking smashed a glass on. Oh yeah. Her Nen energy is expanding and making her fist wider. She was actually hitting him with the energy of the side of her fist. Gomu Gomu no Mass Effect. Why is everyone so excited to fight a Krogan? These are all Mass Effect species people. Everyone here knows that the average Krogan weighs like 600 pounds. And they have redundant organs. You can't even stab one and know you'll kill. You could stab one in the heart and Krogan be like, good thing I got two, motherfucker. And he stabs you in your one heart because you're not from Tunchaka. Or whatever their hard-ass hostile planet is called. That they nuked into a nuclear winter. They nuked their own planet. Krogans don't give a fuck.
Focus defenses here and here. The Ket have been quiet for too long. See? No reason we can't be...
Okay, I don't know if I can compete with that.
One thing that I do have to mention that could totally change on release is that it was very, very, very buggy.
Shadow Scott. He's asserting dominance. Oh god, he's just floating there, T-posingly. You like that, baby? Yes. Yeah, see, that's Mass Effect Andromeda is a good one because even if you're not familiar with video games at all, because sometimes knowing what's a glitch, what's just something I don't understand, what's an artistic choice of a graphic effect if it's a game that's got sometimes goes wonky or crazy with the graphics to symbolize something, but just like if you have eyes, if you've seen any other CGI people, yeah, it's like if you saw Avatar, James Cameron's Avatar in 3D, if you saw Avatar, like you can it's very loud. The fuckiness of all the models and animations is just very loud. Humans are very visually minded creatures, and the visuals are fucked. That's bad.
Sarah Ryder, let's get you checked out. Look here.
It's just really rough.
Think carefully about your next move, Pathfinder.
It's rough everywhere.
We have to disarm them.
It's rough in a way you can't give notes on, because it's just like, oh, it's just really rough. The problem is everywhere. It all needs a touch-up.
My experience, this game is just kind of like, guess what?
See, doing an alien, it's hard. There's a challenge because it's not a human face. So how does I find it interesting. One of the things I actually like about like I'm saying, I've played the first two Mass Effects. Something I like about the setting is just that the different alien races have like a significant amount of differences between them, and just I like just that it tends to it makes sense, it fits together, and because it's always one of those tricky things with a fantasy of it's very easy to just have humans be at kind of the default center, and then every alien race is because it's being written by humans, so humans will experience it, so you end up with they're like humans, but they're very logical. They're the Vulcan, or it's like the Klingon, where it's these are like humans, but they're very warlike and honor bound. And just, everything just ends up being some permutation. I like that just Mass Effect seemed to have, enough differences with a lot of its races where it's I kind of like the way where it was the things that the other races had in common with humanity seemed to just be kind of things that they just all had in common with each other, as just where it's just okay, it's everyone's got eyes, just every species we run into for the most part just has eyes and can see, and it's just okay, you know what, it's that's just because it's useful to be able to fucking see, so you can use projectile weapons, that's just how that works. But you got fun stuff where I think it's the Elcor or whatever, where their planet has super high gravity, so they're these big kind of hunched over cow things. And they move very slowly and deliberately because their planet has crazy high gravity. But then they've got this real fun thing that the way they communicate with each other relies on a lot of pheromones and scent that other races can't understand. So to other races, the Elcor all sound very monotone. They deliver all their sentences in a very monotone, flat way. And when they're talking to each other, they don't, between themselves, it's it's like humans talking. Just between themselves, they can, pick up the emotions and vibes that the other ones are putting down. But anytime they're talking to anyone else, it's just, hello, welcome to the 3rd floor of the Citadel. If you would like directions, I can assist you in finding the Presidium main chamber. They all sound like that. So then they do this funny thing where the Elcor, before they say a sentence, they say what the tone of the sentence is gonna be, because like that's their way to like fit in and make it easier to communicate. So they'll be like, you know, welcoming, hello human, are you here to browse my wares? Yeah, or you know, after you finish buying from the Elcor merchant, they'll just be, you know, thankfully, thank you for shopping at my store, and it's like, cool, that's fun. It's like a fun idea that they sound very, very emotionalist, but it's just because the way they express emotions isn't understood by anyone but them. That's fun. That's neat.
My experience, this game is just kind of like, guess what? This thing happened. Now you have to deal with it, and the character doesn't seem to like even like care.
Mm-hmm.
Shit!
Liam! Hold me! Get a room! The floor?
You folks need a hand?
Oogie! You have timing!
The local smuggling union got together and decided...
You know, it's like, it's unfinished and rough in a way that genuinely makes it confusing. Like, it makes it harder to... You know, like, that seems like it's supposed to be a dangerous and high-stakes moment. But the presentation failure, the visual effects failure, doesn't, like, vibe with that at all. So it undercuts it and just makes it it makes it a very flat scene. It's like two conflicting frequencies and they're just canceling out to null.
Take me down?
Something like that.
Shit.
Move in.
Okay, that one's worth a replay. Yeah, see, I haven't played this game before, but I get the feeling the vehicle's not supposed to do that. Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding. Mindfuck. Let's see that again. This is, you know, right? This is the kind of glitchiness where it's not just the visual. It's not even just the visuals. It's like, you know, unironic falling through terrain. Which, you know, walking through a wall can be funny and can potentially be fine and fixed. I mean, it might not be. You can also walk through a wall and then just be fucking stuck outside a wall. But it's like, okay, what? They've got the scanner open and they're walking sideways and they walk down steps and it's like that is what the level at which the game can't handle shit. You know, I can at least like respect like in a GTA game where it's like, okay, if you get 4 cars sandwiched on top of each other and then have the driver of all 4 of those cars floor it, like if that does some weird wonky physics shit, I can at least accept that was like I was asking for a lot. I was asking for a lot for that to, like, not be weird. Like, I don't even know what it was, like, you know, I'm asking for something where, like, I don't even know what it's really supposed to look like when you do that, so. But, you know, I've walked down a lot of stairs in my life. I've even walked downstairs while looking at an electronic device before. Never have I ever just fucking plummeted into the nether realm. Straight to hell. Oh, and that keeps like respawning you out of bounds, so you're in a fucking fall loop until you probably do a manual reload. That's indecent. You should be doing that outside where everyone can see. Take it inside to a room with a floor.
Someone.
Probably me. Sorry about that. Though if you'd broken a sweat, I'd be sorrier.
You sent us the message about the Solarian Ark?
Let's be frank. There are too many inconsistencies aboard our Ark. They only make sense if someone betrayed us to the Kett.
We'll still have each other, but we want you.
I love you, Mom.
If you've noticed with the bad facial animations, it makes your character look like they have just something's wrong with them, because their face keeps. Right, it's like just it's jarring. It's like if their face just wasn't emoting at all, like it's a fucking PS2 game. Just that'd be better, because at least that would be less distracting than if just if you're just talking to Princess. Oh god. Just having the character's face just fucking just is like, oh Jesus, what?
I love you. Both of you. Live your lives.
I can't imitate it with my face because they're fucking.
I see so much potential in you.
You're someone to me. I'm starting to think that kiss was more than just a distraction.
Mega fascists owned.
One thing has been bothering me a lot. If the characters have dead
They
eyes,
were gay.
They're almost too alive. That's the problem. They flutter every once in a while.
It makes, like, romancing must be so awkward.
Nothing's ruined. It would take a lot to ruin this.
Really?
Because I love you too.
I think I know how to make all this up to you.
Please, no more food.
I don't know. I'm uncomfortable.
I think you're cute and I like seeing you up here. Oh my goodness, right? Alright. Also, the accent. The accent is, I mean, it's not the only thing, but, okay, I should just go over there to the pilot.
I want to pause it, but I wanted to just.
Now. Kill me now.
Thank you. Thank you, Solarian. He's saying what we're all thinking. I didn't want to pause that because I wanted it to be over as soon as possible. I took psychic damage there. Jesus. Lord, fucking give me back some fucking sanity points. That part hurt. I hope this is supposed to be in. Yeah, okay, that was probably the part that was a problem.
The second zone requires a passcode pathfinder.
This wall's really
The
tough.
second zone requires a passcode pathfinder.
I promise to lead the Pathfinder to Aya's.
Shadows, lighting, video games. This looks like a PS2 game. Like on this, like this is like PS2. This is like the kind of shit you'd expect from like a PS2 game, or like a real early. Yeah, I know technically it's like a real. There are like launch PS3 games that look like this. Fuck, God of War 2 is a PS2 game. God of War 2 looks a lot.
Vote.
A lot better.
Your contact's codename is Shayna.
Shayna. Got it.
Hi and good day. Having forward head posture is a major epidemic. It's a very serious condition that leads to many degenerative problems, many health conditions. Not only as children who spend so much time looking down, texting, on their computer, but us as adults as well.
Be like that man with the neck. Oh.
There. How do you feel? Like I've been dead 600 years?
I'm doing shocked like I'm watching fucking reality TV trash. Oh, this is fun. This is why I don't watch reality TV trash. I can watch glitch compilations from very, very expensive video games. But it's rough. It's raw. The project manager did not do a great job with managing the project. Because I'm willing to bet your artists are better than this when they're given enough time. You know, I do networks. If you gave me 5 minutes to build a network, that's going to be a real... And 5 minutes and the network isn't just some super simple thing. It's like, well, that's going to be a pretty shitty network then. I barely got enough time to drag the images out from the fucking Vizio sidebar so I can build this little topology image. Ugh. Like, you have a physics engine in the game that I'm sure has things for, like, water and liquid and fluids. Like, that's not the default way it pours. Liquid, is it? Like, because you could just, it's a cutscene. Pour that shit just right into the floor, it doesn't matter.
Lowered himself to join your clan because he admired your grandfather. He was laughed at, called not worth killing. But now I've bested you, Morta, and Clan Knackmore will pay with blood.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
You put the colony at risk over a grudge you carried across dark space? You really aren't worth killing, Drogal Strux.
Oh no.
Get out. Take your goons.
Get out!
Now where's the drive?
Bitch-ass Kogans like you are such a fucking pain.
Say yourself.
Question for you.
Shoot.
When all this craziness is over, you think you'll have kids?
Where the heck's that coming from?
Some point soon, we better get busy making babies.
Bro, it hasn't been that long.
Can I just do today over again?
When do our families get out of stasis?
Why does high school have to be so hard?
Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible.
Again, I'm just constantly struck by the just like complete lack of lighting.
People dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. So just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Make your dreams come true. Just do it.
Move! Go!
That Carl, that kills people.
Here they come!
They got balls to try an airdrop.
Your ship has balls.
Are things back to normal?
Not even close.
Guys? What's going on?
My scanner would literally become a remnant mystery detector.
Your enthusiasm is infectious.
Don't tell Lexi.
The fuck-uppery in the it makes it look sarcastic. This man looks like he's like about to, like he drank a pot of coffee and he's ready to go take a nap. That's what this man looks like because of what the rigging has. He should be positive, eyes open in a way where the pupils are not rolling back. They must not. I don't think they had enough time.
Your enthusiasm is infectious.
Don't tell Lexi.
The male looks really generic and strange, so you say, okay, I'll make my own character. You are given the strangest looking presets to work from.
Do all humans look alike?
Some of you sound alike.
I'm just real curious, because this will be a real quick check. What do the default humans look like? Because, yeah, that was, you know, it's not just, oh, the graphics in the game are bad. It's like, those are not, like, pleasant faces. Like, Dark Souls 1 has more pleasant faces. Let's do Mass Effect 3. Character creation. Finale. You know, let's just, like, check real quick.
Jane Shepard, but the reason I'm not a...
This is this person's video. I just need the footage. I'm gonna mute you. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's... Do we get... Yeah, okay, so original looked like that. Let's cycle presets. That's a face. That's a... These look like humans. This one's kind of cute. That's a face. That's... These all... These look much more reasonable as just like... You know, I understand. It's like... It doesn't have to be turning out like a supermodel, because that's kind of like too much. You know, but like these are... These are reasonably... These faces aren't ugly. They're not, like, immediately ugly faces. That's just what I want to... You know, these faces are just, like... You know, not ugly. Because that's... You know, this is your player's main character, and you're going to see this face a lot. You don't... You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I bet the average... Because I've seen Ugly Shepherd. And it is very, very funny if you make your character look like a monstrosity. That does make it very, very funny. Especially in the romances. But I think the typical play experience is to have your shepherd look some kind of cool and attractive. So here...
Character. You are given the strangest looking presets to work from.
Do all humans look alike?
Some of you sound alike.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Time to rest up. That's an order, Specialist Writer.
Pulling rank already. Better hope I never tell anyone about that year you only ate paste. Was it first grade or second?
Are you mad, Writer?
So, Ryder.
Nah, that bitch is zooted out.
Found my pack.
She's on the fucking moon.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Thrashing you at poker?
To tell the truth, I'm not much of a player.
Yeah, me neither.
Right before it cuts away, the Asari like rolls her eyes in this super comedic fashion, and I don't know if it's like a glitch of like the eye tracking or not.
Come on, think. I need something. Who are you talking to?
Ryder, shit. You shouldn't sneak up on someone like that.
Back up, literally.
Whoa, easy. Oh, crap.
The back of the gun.
We tried to take down this place for months, and you made it look so easy. Destroying their command structure and systems leaves the rest of the Kep vulnerable. Remember Jarnik? The shield around it's come down.
The Frozen City?
That's the one. This is...
It's not good, guys.
Good. This decision, the policy and protocol, that's not what your victory was about.
Hey, her face stopped being okay, I couldn't even... The simplicity of it. Just the simplicity of just... It's just not there. It's just not there for him. He just fucking kitty prided through.
Save it.
That boy had a sassy little wabble.
Hold it. You're not going anywhere.
Save it.
Oh yeah? You
Hang
could
us,
stop me?
by, remember?
Welcome to the Nexus.
We're all feeling the pressure. Where's the Pathfinder?
You're looking at her.
You're not Alec Ryder.
My father's dead. He made me his successor.
Alec is dead.
The more I played it, it doesn't even feel like a Bioware game. It's weird. I like the combat, but I don't like the characters, at least in those first 2 hours, and I don't like the writing.
You are all the same.
Not so fast.
Good thing that guy was there with a gun.
Good reason. You'll see in 3,
Don't just stand there!
2.
Kill them!
Yeah, fuck that alien lady. Do not resist. The bomb has already been set beneath you.
This is your way out of here.
Play this smart. I know it hurts, but you have to call out where to interface. Get me targets. Everyone get that? We're shutting the Archon down.
Brazilian or not.
Oh no. Oh no, no.
Heard the attack on resilience was
Thought you could just try to move around in our video game? You fool. You fucking idiot.
Losing another Pathfinder is bad enough, even with the crow.
Wait, oh god, that like took it's like I'm in a haunted house or something. I'm scared. I'm getting spooked. I'm getting spooked by this shit. I'm a grown ass man, and this game is so fucked up. It's scaring me.
Losing another Pathfinder is bad enough, even with the Krogan safe.
Oh, like this new season of JoJo.
Settle down.
These stands are fucking weird.
All right. I got us here. Good luck, Pathfinder.
Like overall, Mass Effect Andromeda feels very different to the other Mass Effect games, I think, and I, like, full disclosure, am scared of saying negative things about it because I know how passionate people are about this, but it feels a little more bro-y than I think previous games did, and then it feels a little more like a cover-based bro shooter than it does like what I know of Mass Effect.
Lean more towards like Gears of War?
And to be fair, I mean, the series has been going that way.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this, see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying.
No way this is home.
That's why I'm here, exploring the unknown.
Who are these guys?
Visitors just like us.
Oh, get her on the shuttle now!
Nice work, kid.
He has access!
No more mercy.
Hey there, this is Niall, and I'm doing another Blender tutorial. This is how to animate in Blender.
I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me.
Now you are a part of the first wave of arcs arriving in Andromeda, our new home for humanity.
Rip to a real one. Never forget EA's crimes. Never forget EA's crimes. Okay, I've only done 2. I'm gonna stop soon. Getting close to 2.5 hours. Having a good time, but I'm just starting to kind of tire out a little bit for my being on stream stamina. But do one more, And then you know what? Just because I'm thinking the Mass Effect. I'm just gonna look at some random shit. You know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Who the fuck knows what it'll be? But let's help a person. Because by helping people, the people have better lives, and then they're living on the planet that you yourself also live on. So there's like a lot of potential synergy there. It's because we live in a society. Lot of fires. A lot of fires today. Alright, let's yeah, they had a fire. Alright, yeah, they had a house fire. They're down a lot of possessions, so let's you know, I don't even know any of these people. They could be pieces of shit, but I'm still donating because just like they made a GoFundMe and their house burned down, and I can donate, and I'm not interested in finding out that they're actually pieces of shit or something. I don't need those kinds of problems. Yeah, sorry, water break. I also know my neighbor's dog might be barking. I guess since I can hear that, I don't know, the mic might be picking it up. I really need to figure out a note to myself. Figure out donation message. Alright, we'll just put it there. Oh, just take me back to GoFundMe, man. Don't make it hard for me. Oh my god, there's Billionaire Buster. Elon Musk bought Twitter recently. Doesn't seem to be working out super well for him. If it keeps on going like it has been going, I won't be able to make fun of Elon Musk on my Billionaire Busters program in the future. Have to do like a special in memoriam episode for his billionaire status if his life keeps continuing on the trajectory it seems like it's on. The joke is that he loses money. Okay, that was the third one. And I say I do a few minutes, I'm like, I totally like lost it now that I have to pick something else. Yeah, just I like X. X is the one I like. X is the cool communist space one. Alright. We're gonna open a video. We're gonna immediately mute it. Because just the only thing I want to mention is just that, you know, for the graphics comparison, just to just to cleanse, to like clean our eyes out a bit. Xenoblade Chronicles X came out in 2015, and it is a Wii U game. It's a fucking Wii U game. And it looks like this. You know, it looks like a Wii U game, but like, it's got a big fucking world that's full of detail and full of creatures and full of sights to see. And it's pretty good. It's a good game. I enjoyed it. I did this playing on emulator, but I did like 100% run like a year ago. I say run. It was like 300 hours of game time to like basically 100% it. It's a big game. This game feels like a single player MMO in a good way, but just, you know, compared to Mass Effect Andromeda, which is on like way more powerful, graphically powerful hardware, and just like, fuck man, this looks a lot. Notice that no one is glitching the fuck out and having their limbs and face go all crazy. Everything seems like it's working the way it's supposed to be working. I just feel it's important to highlight a game that like tried and was also good and was personally enjoyable and a worthwhile use of my time. This game's not even perfect. There's stuff I can like. I like this game a lot. There's stuff I can piss on in it. Partly it's just such a big, long game. It's like there's bound to be some characters or plot lines you think are fucking stupid. And there are. But like, I would love a sequel to this game because I feel like there's a really great like foundation. And like they had a good story and shit too, but I just mean like you could do a sequel and have it be, I don't know, I guess just the one thing I'll say is just there's this fun kind of space anarcho-communist colony vibe. Like just, I don't know, the colony you're in has a very communist kind of setup because everyone's like all together on the same goal. There's like a little bit of private business, but it's like only for weapons. Only the weapon companies are privately owned and trying to make profit by creating new shit. But like they're all under like government contract too, and it's everything else is communist. Yeah, there's no cops, but there's mediators. The mediators are the guards, so they're the cops, but half the mediators are like fucking therapists. And when you do quests for them, you're doing quests where you're like helping people with their chores and personal problems in town. It's like, it's very wholesome for it also being this like survival sci-fi, we're stuck on a whole different planet, weird Japanese anime. There's fucking like robot mecha suits you can get in. It's like Monster Hunter where you're just killing shit with huge weapons all the time. I'm just gonna stop there because otherwise I could just rant about this game for a while because I like this game. I willingly spent like 300 hours. This is a Wii U game. Look how big this shit is. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I found my energy there. Video credit goes to IGN. Can't win them all. Clicking the wrong things there. Yo! I mentioned Theremin Trees. He's got a new video. Ooh. Insane incel calls cops on the woman he was stalking. I heard something about that on Twitter. Sounded like those ladies dodged a murder. It's a great thing so many murderers are so fucking stupid. There might be a correlation there between murdering people and being like a fucking moron who would get caught for murdering people. In that it's generally not a smart idea to murder people. You know? Just like... Don't do that. No. I don't know what I'm hoping to get by scrolling the front page. It was a terrible idea. I should not have. My ADHD brain is just going to be stuck. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There's just... Yeah, the more I scroll, the more colorful boxes appear. Alright, there we go. What? Yeah, alright, that's probably... Yeah, we'll just stop. All right, I'm too far gone. Follow me on Facebook. You can easily then find all these GoFundMe's, and then I don't know. Call yourself Billionaire Buster Armada Force. I don't know. Come up with, if you want to say, because that's fun then. Because if you use the Billionaire Buster name too, then it's like it. Because I mean, if you're hearing me say this, then it's like you got the idea from me, so. Because we can all be billionaire busting, then it's like you get credit then. See, yeah, other people get the credit for your Billionaire Buster name donation, but you also get the credit then for all the other Billionaire Buster donations. It's a positive synergy that aligns our goals with our mission directives. And I'm going to stop there. This is the end of the stream. I had fun. Looking forward to doing another stream in 2 weeks because I'm going on a vacation, so next week is a skip. But till next time.